Hi guys, it's Lisa. I'm here to share with you a layout to start my 2016 Project Life album. I wanted to do something a little bit different this year, so I decided to pull out this piece of burlap that I've had in my stash forever, and I decided to also use this quote with it that says, "Tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365 page book. Write a good one." And I just found that on Google Images and I really liked it. So I'm cutting a backing here out of this teal blue cardstock, which I love this color. I think that's probably one of my favorite colors. There's many different shades of blue that are my favorite: periwinkle, aqua, teal, so pretty much any of the blues. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and back the burlap and the quote on this and use my sewing machine to sew down the burlap and the quote. So I actually, when I cut the burlap, I had to kind of hem the edge so it wouldn't, come apart. So then I decided to use this paper punch, which looks kind of like the edge of a notebook, which I thought would be appropriate. And so I pulled that out, and it's a Fisker punch, and you can actually, it's good for if you don't have a lot of storage, and you can actually pull out the little inserts and use different, punches. So it actually works out pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I do a lot of the sewing off camera, which just kind of saves time, and I didn't want to bore you guys with my pathetic sewing abilities. So I wanted to reinforce that edge that was going to have the holes in it to make it a little bit stronger. I didn't want to use those little reinforcers, that little circle things, because all I have are white ones and I just didn't want to use those. So I decided to go ahead and reinforce it with some of this cardstock. So I'm just kind of trimming up the edges to make it fit that side. And yeah, that way when I go ahead and cut through or punch through, it'll be a couple different layers so that every time I'm flipping through the book, it won't tear. So that was my solution to that problem. So I'll go ahead and tape that down. And then what I've decided was I want to do a little bit more of the outside of the pocket pages for this year. And what I mean by that is when I did my December daily, I decided I would put a lot of the things to have a little bit more texture and interest outside of the pocket pages. So this one here isn't going to be in a pocket page, and I just thought it would be a little bit different. So yeah, I kind of like that idea. So, and this is the way when I put something outside of the pocket, I use the pocket page to line up the holes, and it just works out best. And I'm trying to decide where I want to have that line up, if I want it at the top or the bottom. So I just used my first finished Project Life page for the 2016 to do that. And then here I'm just lining it up with that so that I can go ahead and punch the holes and they'll line up properly. And that seems to be the best technique for me. I just have a regular hole puncher. I know that people have that dial, I don't know really what it's called, but that big silver thing. And my husband just picked me up this hole puncher at Walmart, and it works just fine. It was pretty cheap. So anyways, so here I am. I ended up putting some black thread in my sewing machine because I thought I wanted it to show, and then in the end I end up covering it up, but you'll see that ahead here. And then I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of distressing the edges here with this black soot by Tim Holtz, and I just thought it would make it stand out a little bit better. I wanted it to kind of look like a worn out book, and yeah, so I decided to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I think any time now I'm going to, okay, so this doesn't come out perfectly straight. The burlap for one isn't straight, um, and I'm fine with that. So I just kind of had to let it go. I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. So on the back here, first what I'm going to do is fight with this washi tape and go get a new one. I wanted to just cover up and kind of hold down the sewing on the back, because I know sometimes, even though I kind of backed up a little bit with the sewing machine, I didn't want it to come apart. So I used the washi tape, and I find that works out really good, even if you're sewing on your layouts, to use washi tape on the back, especially on your layouts where you can't even see the back. But this one I'm going to end up covering up, because when you flip it over, you are going to be able to see the back. So I'm just trimming off the edges, and here's where you see it's not perfectly straight, and I don't care. I'm not really particular about stuff like that. And then I decided to go ahead and take this ribbon that I had, and it's textured, it's like burlap, and I'm going to go ahead and cover up the stitching. Not because I didn't like the stitching as much as I just thought I liked that look of that extra tweed brown look to it, and I decided to go ahead and just kind of glue that down there. I wanted a little bit more texture on there and a little bit more of that tweed color. Tweed? It's like, I guess it's like it's not really tweed, it's like a tan color. And yeah, so I did that, and I'm going to end up doing that on the other side also. But first, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to lay out the 2016. And these are some thickers I've had in my stash forever. I got them when they first came out, and I want to say Amy Tan, but I'm not 100% positive. And then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and cover up that stitching on the other side also, and just kind of glue that down with my Scotch quick dry adhesive. And yeah, I really like how this came out, and it's just something different for me to start off my album. Usually I have a page protector and I put little, 2016 things in the pockets, and this time I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I think that we do that each year that we do a certain project. We refine it, we change it, and it's just kind of fun to do things, change it up, switch it up, make it a little bit more interesting, exciting. And then I found these little felt, which I've been trying to use some of this stuff up that I've had in my stash too. So I decided to go ahead and use these little blue felt flowers and just add a little bit more blue, pop of blue to the layout. And then also, oh, I have this. It's funny how when you start looking through your stash, you find all kinds of things. And I also found that other ribbon too. I was going to go ahead and look through these little washi tape strips, but then I decided it was getting a little too busy, so I didn't decide to use those. But I did find this ribbon, and I really liked the way that looked. I liked the zigzag part of it. I really like that a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and add that there too underneath. Excuse me. Underneath those felt flowers. And I liked the color. I liked that it was kind of a cool shape. And I think I got that back in with my, I think it's American Crafts, but no, maybe not. I got that in with my, when I ordered my December daily kit, I got that in there and I didn't end up using it, so I threw it in with my stash, and I figured I'd probably use it at some point, and I did. So I'm just gonna kind of glue that down there, and then I'll go ahead. I'm trying to straighten it out as best I can, but like I said, I'm not really one for using a ruler and making sure everything's perfectly straight. And I don't know, I kind of like the I call it the au naturel look. So, and my husband's like the opposite. I held it up afterwards. I'm like, is that fairly straight? And he's like, what he said was, yeah, it's fairly straight. And he's like totally opposite. He has to have everything totally straight, and I'm just I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. It is what it is, right? And so here I'm just adding a little bit of that black soot just to kind of have these flowers. They were really bright. Just have them kind of blend in a little bit. And I was trying to, well, I was gluing those flowers down with my Scotch adhesive, but it wasn't working. I don't know why it wasn't gluing to that ribbon, because it's pretty much the same type of material, but in the end I end up using a different type of glue. But here I'm just going to glue the other one on top of that one, and I think that one may work. But you'd think when you're gluing two fabrics together that it would work, because I mean that Scotch quick dry adhesive pretty much works with anything. But then I want to add a couple little black dots to the middle of those flowers, but I think this is when I realize it's not sticking down at all. And oh, Gorilla Glue, it's like crazy glue, because I didn't feel like pulling out my my hot glue gun. I actually don't even know where it is right now, so I decided just to use my Gorilla Glue, which is it kind of comes in handy when you don't have any other glue. And so I used that, and it worked perfectly. It's probably going to hold forever because it's Gorilla Glue. So I did that, and then I added a little bit extra where those dots are going to be, and I just put little black dots in the middle of those flowers just to help those stand out a little bit more. And then I'll add my 2016 on there. So this is going to be, and you'll see, I'll show you in the end, this is going to be just when you open up my Project Life album, this is what you're going to first see. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on the back to cover up the back, and I decided to go ahead and add a little bit more of that craft, cardstock color, which I thought was nice because it kind of brings out that little bit of that same color I have in that ribbon. So it worked out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and glue or tape that down there. And yeah, this was a pretty quick, easy project, and I've been wanting to work on it, and I've been going ahead and doing my Project Life pages, and I figured, I really want to upload this because it's the beginning of my album, so I don't want to get things out of order. So I'll go ahead and upload this, and then I can start uploading my other ones because I'm trying to keep up. And then I actually hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm really excited about. So I am going to have a giveaway, and I'm just trying to decide. I go through this every single time, like what I want for a giveaway, what people are going to really want for a giveaway, what's an exciting prize. I love buying people presents, and my husband can attest to that because, yeah, I go a little crazy. But I just love it. So, yeah, I don't know. I have to decide. I have to figure it out. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that pretty soon too. On the back of this, I just added a little bit of ribbon just so when you turn it over right there, you'll kind of have a little bit of something on the back of it so it wasn't so plain. And then that's pretty much the end of it. And then I'll kind of show you how it looks in the album. And then, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little project that I had made for my album. And yeah, and hopefully soon you guys will be seeing there's my first page of my album, which actually was for the Crafty Maven, but I just uploaded it so you guys could see it too. So here's some photos, and I will see you guys soon. I hope you're having a great Sunday, and take care. Bye, YouTube.